it's Mary, and today we're going to be talking about Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. Now this is definitely one of my favorite summer reads. It's fun, it's creative, and it's relatable, and I love it. So this follows a girl named Emily who's been best friends with this girl named Sloane for 2 years. Then, up out of nowhere, Sloane and her family disappear. Right before the summer, where they had these epic plans made. They were going to get a job where they are lazy because there's not really anything to do and it's easy and they're together, and then they're going to go on all these adventures, and Emily can't do any of it without Sloane. And then 2 weeks after Sloane has left, a list shows up at her door. A list that has things on it like steal something, break something, go apple picking at night, and skinny dipping. Emily's this little shy creature, and there's no way she's going to be able to do it without her crazy best friend. Yet, it might be the only way for her to find Sloane. And that's going to be everything I'm going to tell you about this book, except for the fact that I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It is amazing. And I really think that you should go pick it up. It reminds me of me and my best friend. I don't know if it would remind you of you and your best friend, but if it does, let me know in the comments because that would be cool. So let's just look at the cover real quick. It's gorgeous and I love it. And it's a library book, so I can't really take the cover off, but all of Morgan Matson's hardcover books have these like little mini posters on the inside. But we have this thing called the internet, so here's a picture of what's on the inside. And so I love the pictures that are on the covers of all of Morgan Matson's books, and I just think that they're just really beautiful books. But now I'm going to be getting into a spoilery section where I just really discuss the book and tell you the parts that I liked, some of the parts that I maybe didn't like as much, and some of the dynamics that I liked in this book. So if you haven't read it, leave now, read the book. It's a really good, quick, amazing book to read, so go read it, and then come back. Okay? Get it? Got it? Good. So the first thing I want to talk about is this list. This is the list of things that Emily, shy little Emily, is never going to be able to do on her own. It's something that is always going to be putting her out of her comfort zone, and things that she might have done with Sloane, but things that she's definitely going to have to do by herself or without Sloane because Sloane is gone. And I like the backstory behind the list because they give little backstories so that you can see the train of thought of Emily and how she's relating these things to Sloane. And I think that's really, really cool, and it helps you put the pieces together yourself. And the backstory of this is that whenever she went away, she got a list of things to do from Sloane. It was just one of Sloane's fun things that she did. And so she gets this list. And it's 13 things that all put her out of her comfort zone. And so the list kind of goes like this. And it's on the back, so you have to kiss a stranger, go skinny dipping, steal something, break something, Penelope, ride a darn horse, you cowpoke, 55 South Avenue, ask for Mona, the backless dress and somewhere to wear it, dance until dawn, share some secrets in the dark, hug a Jamie, apple picking at night, and sleeping under the stars. And I'm not going to discuss every one of these because they're all like their little mini adventures, and I love that about this book. But you also get to see character development between all of these. And so the more that she does, the more that she's able to do them faster and better, and she's ready to jump into action. And some of these things are things that she did by herself, things that she would have done. Like Penelope is the name on her fake ID that Sloane got her that she never used when she was with Sloane, but she actually got to go and do it by herself this time, and I thought that that was really cool. Not that I would ever get a fake ID because I don't really see the point in that, except they had a good point in this one, is that they have all of the concerts at the bar, and she just got a Diet Coke. What is the deal with Diet Coke? It's like the only thing that people drink in here. And I picked up Unexpected Everything, which I've started, and it seems to be the only thing that people drink in that one too. And so I'm like, Morgan Matson must really like Diet Coke. And so throughout all of these adventures, she meets these new friends of hers, which would be Frank Porter, who Sloane, the first time she met him, called him, "Who's the Boy Scout?" Because he's the guy always polishing his resume. He always wants his transcripts to be perfect. He's doing all of these smart kid things, and he's probably done things like Boy State, and he's going to these Princeton things where his girlfriend's at, his girlfriend Lisa, who we don't actually meet. We meet her once, and it was over a video call, and then we get to see what people think of her, but we don't actually get to see her in person. There's another friend that he meets, which is Frank's best friend Collins, who is like the complete opposite of him. He is the ladies' man, and he tries to hit on every girl he sees, except it's only if he knows that they are out of his league, like the head cheerleader, the prom queen, all of that. The ones he knows are going to say no, which towards the end of the book, Emily actually points out, and he ends up dating Dawn, who ends up developing a crush on him. And Dawn, we meet in a very odd situation. She works across the street at Captain Pizza from the ice cream parlor that Emily works at, and she comes in bawling because her boyfriend is cheating on her with her best friend, which is a dynamic that we will see develop, because that's kind of what happens between the relationship with Emily and Frank. And Emily ends up kissing Frank, and then Frank goes to talk to his girlfriend Lisa. And so, like, Emily knows that he has a girlfriend, and so Dawn's not behind this because Dawn got cheated on at the beginning of the book, and so she's not gonna stand on Emily's side. And then there's Collins, who's the ladies' man, and actually has a date now, and isn't going to stand behind this either, because Frank's his best friend, and there's no way he's going to choose Emily over Frank. And so Emily's left feeling all alone again, because at the beginning of the book, she feels all alone. Her only friend, her identity, was the girl who hangs out with Sloane. And throughout this book, you get to see her discover this identity of herself, like who she really is, the things that she really likes to do, and realize that she has a fun personality too, and that she doesn't need Sloane for it to come out. And we get these flashbacks of her with Sloane, and she still seems shy and closed off, and she's able to put in a snippet here and there, and she feels at home with Sloane, but anytime anybody else is around, she closes back up in her ball, and she's not really there, and she's awkward. And that's the same way that she is with her ex-boyfriend Gideon, who she didn't really like. She was dating him because his best friend was dating Sloane, her best friend, and so it just happened. And so there was really nothing going on with that. And so she's starting to realize these things. And it's not making Sloane the bad guy either, because we're still searching for Sloane. Sloane was her best friend. And I know that even though I've come out of my shell a lot more since I've met my best friend, Emily's done the same thing. And it's just taking her a lot longer to realize that her personality isn't the person standing next to Sloane. Her personality is Emily. And Emily's also this cross-country runner, which is how we get to meet Frank. She actually runs out of gas in her old run-down car with these weird bumper stickers. Her car has such personality, which I think really shows that she can have personality too. But she runs out of gas, and Frank takes her to this gas station to get gas, and then he's like, yeah, there is something you can do for me. Can you teach me how to run? You're on the cross country team, right? So they start running together, and a lot of people run with music in their ears, like with headphones, and so you get to see all of these playlists, like, and then you get to see the differences between the characters. Like, for some reason, Emily really likes country, and she has really fun names on her, like, Pick Up Your Pace Porter, even more songs about trucks. And then when you are looking at Frank's playlist, he has lots of songs, some like the Beatles. He's got lots of Beatles, and then he's got lots of other he's got like a whole hodgepodge of different things in his list, including this guy named Curtis Anderson, who I have looked up, and I'm pretty sure he's made up. But I feel like he's more like one of that guy who does Here's Your Sign. I feel like he's like one of them. But anyways, because I've searched him and I cannot find him anywhere. If you figure it out, that'd be cool, but let me know. But here's his playlists, and they're just like a hodgepodge of things, and they're also just numbered. Mix number 4. So you really get to see the differences. And then they also trade music whenever they go running, so that they can open up their horizons, see new things, listen to different music, even if it's not music that they end up liking. They've heard it, so it's like they have experienced it, and they're opening up themselves to new experiences. And I think that's what this book is a lot about, is like self-discovery, finding out the things that you really like, who you are, figuring out that things can change, and dealing with that change. And also it's a lot of fun with these challenges that she's supposed to be doing. I want to talk about her parents for a minute. So her parents have completely closed themselves off because they are working on this play. They are playwrights. They are eccentric, that may be a little bit crazy, and they do love their kids. They're not neglecting them. This is just who they are. And when they get started working on a play, they've got this one-track mind. And so right now they're working on this play about Edison and Tesla. And this is long before Hamilton came out. And so I'm thinking, this is hilarious. A play about these historical people, their best friends, their rivalries, all of that. And now we have this musical about Hamilton, and I'm thinking, that they've got this play idea, and they're these playwrights, and they had this play called Bug Juice. And the beginning of the play is based off of Emily's experience at summer camp. And it's shy little Emily, long before she met Sloane. They've traveled a lot. She's sent off to summer camp, and it's like her experience there. But for some reason, towards the end, we hear something about arson and this weird camp counselor, and there's a love interest in there somewhere, and I just want to see this Bug Juice. Can Morgan Matson like write a short play, Bug Juice, so I can see what this is, because I think it looks hilarious. And we get to see little snippets of it when the people come over for like the in-house play, which I think is one of my favorite scenes. Frank comes over, and her parents are like out of their office, pushing furniture everywhere, and her brother's outside going, "You don't want to go in there. It's happening. It's happening." And her parents, apparently, it's an hour before everybody was supposed to come over to their house to put on this play, a play that they may not have the people for, the funds for, or they have more people than they need for the play at this college that they are professors at, and it's summer, so they don't have classes, and so the English and the theater departments put on this play at one of their houses, and just the script, just them and the scripts and a bunch of snack food. And so they have enough scripts of Bug Juice, so they put that on. And Emily ends up playing the character that's based off of her, and then Frank ends up playing her love interest, which, foreshadowing people, this is like a main foreshadowing scene. I mean, please. And they have to like kiss at the end, so they get closer and closer. They're kind of nervous, and then her brother, who's doing the stage reading, goes, and curtain. And they're like, wait, what? Because they're like so caught up in the moment, and I'm like, guys, foreshadowing. Like, if they hadn't gotten together, I'd have been like, wait, what? There was like this whole foreshadowing scene. Like, seriously, did you not listen in basic English class? So after reading this book, I want to go to Sandwich, Connecticut. I don't know if that's a weird place. I haven't looked that up. But if it is, I want to go there. If there is a town that this is based off of, I want to go there. I know that there is a town that Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls is based off of, and I want to go there. I had planned on going to Monroeville, Alabama for the To Kill a Mockingbird play this summer, and that didn't happen because I had a family emergency, but I'm definitely going there at some point. I just want to visit all of my bookish places, and so this is definitely one of those. If I just get to spend the night in this town, drive by an orchard, and pick an apple, I would be happy. The little details in this book are incredible. Just the ones that she puts in there because she knows it's going to make you laugh, or the ones that you don't even know are building these character development and letting you know the personality of these characters, but they are just the little details, and that's what's impressive, is how many little details were put into this. Like, what's on the back of Dawn's shirt that day, it's like, we do private parties at Captain Pizza, and all of these other types of little details. Like the fact that the Jamie that she goes to attempt to hug, which she doesn't, that Dawn to deliver the pizza to, she owns a puggle. A puggle. Like, that wasn't necessary information for the storyline, but it's adorable, and it makes that character, even though you see her for just a brief moment, seem real. And I think it's those moments in this book that really make you feel like you're in the book. That, and I relate to the character Emily so much. Maybe not her extremely shy self, but the part of Emily in the middle where she's like, should I do this? Should I not? And then maybe she does the thing, and then she's like, oh, or oh. And I like the part where she's still figuring things out. The first time that I read this, I really connected with that, and I can still connect with Emily and her character growth. I feel like that I could read another book with Emily in it just to see her character growth and still relate to it. And I don't know if it's written that way that I just feel that way, or if it's a way that other people could feel that way, but I just know that I've connected with that character. That, and the fact that she is an awesome, crazy best friend, I also connect with that, because I have an awesome, crazy best friend. And I may not be much of a runner, but my brother is, so I understand the running thing. And I have a little brother, maybe not so much of a distance of age, he's only 2 years younger than me, but I connect with her having a little brother and a crazy best friend, and then making all these new friends. Making friends is something that I've never been good at. I really think that this book shows the realisticness of making a friend. Sometimes they're random, sometimes you know them and you never even thought that you'd be friends with them, and sometimes they just happen and you're like, all of a sudden we're best friends. And I think that that is so realistic, the way that it's set out like that. Like, Frank, you've known them forever, but you never thought you'd be friends with them. Or that friend that you have because he's a friend of a friend, that would be Collins. The weird, crazy circumstance, yet we have a friend, or we have this one thing in common. Like, Dawn and Emily both work on the same street, and they both just needed a friend at the time, and so it happened. They're friends. And then there's that friend that through random crazy circumstances, all of a sudden you realize that you yourself have a best friend, and that would be Sloane. And each of these show different types of characters and types of friends, and friends that you can see might be able to slip away, and friends that you can see that, oh, I can be friends with you. And you know that friend where you could not talk to them for 2 months, and then you shoot them a text and all of a sudden you're still best friends again. That's the kind of friend that Sloane is too. They haven't talked to each other for 2 months, and then she finally figures out where she is, South Carolina, with her aunt. She drives down there, and they talk it out. They talk out their issues, which is the fact that that Sloane didn't want to leave, but she had to leave, and she didn't want to break off the friendship, so she just didn't say anything and disappeared. And she wouldn't answer the calls or texts or the emails or any type of communication because it was just too hard on her. But she didn't realize how hard it was on Emily. And so when Emily comes, they hash that out, and they're still going to stay connected. They're still going to be friends. And I love that. I can see the fact that even if they don't talk every week, twice a week, like they plan on, they could still call each other up at any moment and know exactly what they're talking about, or if they're not, they're there to listen, and they can pick up their friendship where they left off. And I think this book just really shows friendship, especially teenage friendship, in a way that is realistic and easily relatable. And if you feel the same way, definitely let me know in the comments, because I want to know if this is just the way that I'm seeing it. I want to see the way that you guys see it. But even if you don't go into as much detail as I did with this, definitely reviewing it and the second time around, if you're just reading it for fun, let me know if you liked it, because you don't have to think about it so analytically if you're just reading it for fun, and that's fine. But the fact that I can also read this book analytically means it is that much more well written. And I just loved this book so much, and I got so much out of it the first time and the second time. And so definitely go read this book if you haven't already, because I didn't talk about too much of the plot line. I just talked about the characters some, and the instances are here. They are awkward. Sometimes they make you think, why, don't, why? But they are still just that good, because it's a book that makes you laugh, and if you're super sensitive to books that might make you cry, but not that much, just in that one instance where you're like, Emily, don't run away, why? And I just really think that you would like this book. I know that I loved it. I enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, give me a big thumbs up. And I think that's all for this video. If there's anything else you want to talk about, definitely let me know, and I'll be happy to respond to your comments. Give me thumbs up, subscribe for more. That's it. You guys have a great summer. Bye!